Grizzlies and polar bears are especially aggressive, attacking without warning when they feel threatened or hungry. But even black bears, often seen as less dangerous, can become vicious under the right circumstances. In the wilderness, a close encounter with a bear can be a horrifying fight for survival. The Australian exchange students had been eagerly anticipating their trip to Alaska. The rugged wilderness, the towering mountains, and the promise of seeing bears in their natural habitat had filled them with excitement. So little did they know that their dream vacation would turn into a horrifying nightmare. On a crisp morning, the group, consisting of 8 young adults, set out on a guided hike through Denali National Park. Their experienced guide, a grizzled old Alaskan named Jake, led them through a dense forest, his keen eyes scanning the surroundings for any signs of wildlife. The dense forests are dominated by towering spruce hemlock and birch trees, their thick canopies providing shelter for a diverse range of wildlife. Beneath the trees, the forest floor is a lush tapestry of mosses, ferns and wildflowers, thriving in the damp, cool air. These forests are alive with the sounds of nature, rushing streams, birds calling, and the rustle of leaves as moose, bears, and other creatures move through the underbrush. The forest can feel vast and impenetrable, a place where humans are merely visitors in a landscape shaped by nature's rhythms. In Alaska's wild forests, the connection to the natural world is palpable, offering solitude and a deep sense of awe. As they ventured deeper into the wilderness, the air grew thick with anticipation. The students' hearts pounded with excitement as they imagined the thrill of encountering a bear. But their excitement quickly turned to terror when they heard a loud crackle in the undergrowth. A massive brown bear emerged from the bushes, its eyes glinting with a primal hunger. So the students froze in fear, their blood running cold. Jake, with a calm demeanor that belied his inner panic, shouted for them to stay together and make themselves as big as possible. The bear, undeterred by their attempts to intimidate it, charged towards the group. Panic ensued as the students scattered in all directions. Some tried to climb trees while others ran blindly into the forest. The bear, with incredible speed and agility, easily caught up to its prey. One by one, the students fell victim to the bear's savage attacks. The screams of terror echoed through the wilderness, a haunting reminder of the deadly encounter. The news of the attack sent shockwaves around the world. The Australian government was devastated by the loss of its young citizens, while the Alaskan authorities launched an investigation into the incident. The bear, which was later tracked down and euthanized, was found to have been acting on instinct, driven by hunger and territorial aggression. The tragedy serves as a stark reminder of the dangers that lurk in the wilderness. While bear attacks are rare, it is important for anyone venturing into bear country to be prepared and take necessary precautions. Hike in groups, carry bear spray, and be aware of your surroundings, and most importantly, respect the wildlife and their habitat. Story 2. Emma Hastings was an avid runner, someone who found peace and solace in the rhythm of footsteps hitting the ground. While living in a small town in British Columbia, she was surrounded by natural beauty, towering mountains, dense forests, and winding trails that stretched for miles. She had made running part of her daily routine, exploring the quiet roads and trails around her home each morning before heading off to work as a schoolteacher. On the morning of September 15th, 2024, Emma set out for her usual run down a familiar road that cut through a remote section of forest. It was a crisp fall morning and the leaves were just beginning to turn golden red, fluttering gently in the breeze. She loved this time of year. The cool air made her runs feel effortless, and the solitude of the wilderness cleared her mind. Emma was aware of the wildlife in the area, but she had never encountered anything dangerous during her runs. She carried a whistle and a small canister of bear spray, just in case, but she had never needed to use them. About 5 miles into her run, Emma rounded a bend in the road that led deeper into the forest. The path ahead was shaded by towering pines, and the sounds of the outside world seemed to fade away as the dense forest surrounded her. She was focused on her breathing, the steady pace of her feet, when a sudden rustling in the bushes up ahead caught her attention. Slowing her pace, she scanned the roadside for movement. At first, she saw nothing, assuming it might be a squirrel or maybe a deer. But as she continued forward, the rustling grew louder, and then, emerging from the trees, a large black bear appeared, its eyes fixed on her. Emma's heart leapt into her throat. She stopped in her tracks, frozen for a moment as the bear stood still, staring at her from about 50 feet away. Her mind raced, replaying all the advice she had ever heard about bear encounters. She knew better than to run that would trigger the bear's instincts to chase. But standing still with a bear this close was equally terrifying. Slowly, Emma began to back away, keeping her eyes on the bear but avoiding direct eye contact. She reached for the bear spray in her waistband, her fingers trembling slightly. The bear, sensing her movements, took a step forward, then another, its massive body moving with unsettling grace. It let out a low huff, and Emma's breath quickened. But the bear wasn't backing down. Instead, it took another step closer, its head lowering as if sizing her up. Emma's pulse pounded in her ears. She knew she had to act quickly. As the bear closed the distance between them, she raised the bear spray and unleashed a cloud of it into the air between her and the advancing bear. The effect was immediate. The bear recoiled, shaking its head and pawing at its face as the burning sensation hit its eyes and nose. It let out a deep growl, backing away as it tried to escape the mist. Emma didn't wait to see if the bear would come back. She turned and began to jog slowly at first to avoid provoking a chase, then faster, as she put more distance between herself and the animal. Heart pounded not just from the exertion but from the fear coursing through her. She glanced over her shoulder several times, half expecting to see the bear charging after her, but it had retreated into the woods. Emma didn't stop running until she reached the safety of her car, parked at the trailhead a mile away. Breathing heavily, she leaned against the car, shaking with relief, but the encounter left her rattled. A stark reminder that the wilderness, while beautiful, is unpredictable and dangerous. In the days that followed, Emma reflected on the attack, grateful for her preparation, but also aware things could have turned out much worse. She shared her story with friends and fellow runners, hoping to educate others on the importance of bear safety. For anyone who spends time in bear country, Emma offered this advice: always be prepared. Carry bear spray and know how to use it. Make noise as you run or hike, especially in areas where bears are common. And never run if you encounter a bear; it can trigger their natural instinct to chase. Stay calm, back away slowly, and if necessary, use your bear spray. It saved my life. Welcome, and thank you for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and enjoyable. If you like what you saw, please consider subscribing to the channel for more great content. Your support helps us create even more videos that you love. Don't forget to share this video with your friends and family to spread the knowledge and excitement. Goodbye and see you again.